today I'm working on holiday dresses, and since I didn't get invited to any balls again this year, I'm going to make a sweater knit dress with a gathered hem and a gathered wrist. If you'd like to join me, grab your favorite t-shirt dress and let's get started. So here's the two fabrics I'm going to be using. One is a $2 yards for $4. So this is going to be a $4 dress because my other fabric was gifted to me, and it's a vintage, just a vintage cotton woven. So you're going to want one knit that's about 2 yards, and you're going to want one cotton woven. So I projected Ellie & Mac's Jessica pattern. Now this pattern is really short for me, so I'm going to add an inch, and then I'm going to add 5 more inches with the ruffle and everything else. So decide where you would like to have your dress hit, and then you're going to measure 5 inches up from your pattern, and then I'll hit right there. So let's say if you want it knee length, you're going to cut your pattern 5 inches shorter. If you want it mid thigh, you're going to find that mid thigh cut line, and you're going to go 5 inches from there. So wherever you like is really your choice, and I'll show you how to make each of those lengths work for you. Okay, so I have my Jessica laid out here, and I'm just going to cut this one actually on the fold. I love how Ellie & Mac has it so you can just cut the whole thing, but sometimes I just want to make sure that it's going to be perfect, and I don't trust my projector all the time. You may have noticed I have a wet hair this morning, but I am also very proud that I'm almost dressed by 9 o'clock. I think once you have kids, you're just like always excited when you get a shower, right? Like that is like the most winning thing, is I at least got a shower today. So again, I'm taking it to the 1 inch longer here. It is really cold here, so I don't think a really short dress is just going to be something that works for me. But it'll probably look great on you. What am I saying? It'll look great on you. Okay, so here we're going to cut the front of the dress. And you really need to decide your options here. This is where we have to make those decisions, right? So right here, we have a difference on this particular pattern between a crew neck or a little bit of a dip. I'm going to take the dip right here, because I'm going to actually thicken the neckband so it looks like a really nice sweater knit dress. Whoops, sorry, bumped my camera. Now, I would not probably do this like a T-length mid-thigh, just because it will be like a lot. I have something underneath here. That's what we have underneath there. It will just, because it's going to come and flare out at the end, and you really just don't want that flare mid-calf. So this is definitely like a, you know, from the knee on. Here's our 1 inch. Whoop. And there, that's actually more than 1 inch, by just like a little bit. Okay, let me fix that and we'll continue. So here we have the sleeve, and this one's not a cut unfold. Now when it comes to like really stretchy knits, it really does not matter if it's cut unfold or if it isn't. So right here, I'm going to just mark a triangle at my front so I can remember that. Now, when it comes to woven, you really don't want to have a pattern that's cut on fold for sleeves. But again, this is some stretchy fabric, so it's going to be okay. So we're going to do a long sleeve version. I think quarter sleeve would probably be cute too. I'm actually going to make 2 dresses today, and I'll show you the other one. And then I'm going to let my daughter pick which one she would like, and then I'll get the other one. So we'll see. Sometimes she surprises me. This is the one where I'm like, I don't know if she'll like it because it has the pink on it. So I like to have neckbands at 2 inches. I just feel like it makes it easier. But because I want this to be a cute sweater looking neck, I'm going to actually go 2.5. All right, here we go. I know that is like one wide neckband, but I think it'll be really cute having a chunky neckband with a sweater knit. Because we're gonna fold it in half, right? And then it's gonna stretch, of course. But look at it, isn't that gonna be so adorable? Once we do the seam allowance, it's gonna be just 1 inch. So this is the front of my dress, and I'm on the fold, and this is gonna actually make a band that's gonna hold in my ruffle. So I want this band to be 2 inches in width. So I'm going to make it 4.5 inches. So I have, you know, a quarter seam allowance here. And then I'm going to make it the same width as the dress. Okay, right here. We got this. Okay. And then we're going to make sure we go all the way over. See, I'm eyeballing it right there. And I shouldn't. You know what? Look at that. Do you see that? This inside piece is actually shorter. So let me recut that. And then this time I won't eyeball it. Okay, so 4.5 right here. And down. Let's do the other side. And so this is going to be our front band. And so I'm going to put a clip on there so I can remember. Because there is just like a slight difference. Look at that thread. There's a slight difference between the front and the back. Okay, so here's the back. And I'm just going to cut this off because we don't want to make the same mistake, right? Or at least I don't want to. You got this. Okay, here we go. Here's 4.5 right here. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so here we have my pink fabric, and we are going to make a ruffle, a 1.5 ruffle. And you know how I love my ruffles. So I'm actually going to just fold my fabric in half here. And then I'm going to take my very handy quilting square. So I know that this pattern is pretty much the width of my sewing table. So I am going to make 3 of these. Or sorry, I'm going to make one of them like this, and then I'm going to open it and make my 3rd. You don't want to have, first of all, as an adult, I don't want to have a ton of ruffles on my clothes, you know, and I just don't like it. Like I just don't want it to be sticking out. But on this particular hack that we're doing, we really don't want to be sticking out really thick underneath the bound. Wow. Sometimes I should not be talking and cutting. Okay, and here's my 3rd one right here. So again, and I could just show you, this is probably confusing. Let me move it over. So as you can see, the width of my dress is pretty much the same width as my mat. So let me get this evened off right here. And then I'm going to come down. And we're going to try this again, talking with a blade in my hand. All right, and then we're going to just cut down right here on the edge. I need to cut off that salvage, so I'm going to come as close as I can. All right, so let's look at our pattern pieces. We have, here's one piece, and then I have right here. There is 2 pieces, and then I also have my 2 bands for the bottom. And then, are you okay over there? So I have 2 sleeves here. Sorry, I homeschool. And here is the front. Here is the back. So make sure you're doing inventory with me if you're sewing this along. And then, of course, here is our handy neckband. We are ready to go. So this is why we do inventory. Right here, or at least this is why I need to do inventory. I forgot to do the sleeve ruffle. So if you're going to do the sleeve ruffle, let me try that again. If you're going to do the sleeve ruffle along with me, let's make sure we get it right. So we're going to just cut off the salvage, and then we're going to fold it over our sleeve, right? Halfway. So this is what we're talking about with 1.5. We have the length, and then this piece is what's going to be ruffled. as you can tell, that piece is kind of wonky, right? I think I'm going to cut it at 2 inches. The reason why is because we're going to have to attach this on, and then we're going to have to roll hem it. So I feel like 2 inches is going to be perfect. And if it's not, we can always make it thinner, right? If you don't trust me right now, you can always say, you know what, I'm going to make this 1.5 inches because I don't want big ruffly sleeves. Or you can skip this altogether. So we're going to make one, and then we're going to also make another because we have 2 arms. I have 2 arms. But the way I'm cutting today, it might not stay that way, right? Okay. There we go. Seriously, this is the most handy thing you can own. Okay, I got it. So now we have the sleeve ruffles and our inventory is complete. So here's my back of my dress, and now I'm going to put, so this is my outside fabric, right? Isn't the pink gonna be so cute with this? I think it's gonna be adorable. Okay, so there's my outside fabric, and now, okay?
You're in the exact same game that done 3 times in a row. I want to play a different one.
Okay, games are fun. Okay, so now I'm going to put on
No, but I want to play a different one.
my shoulder seams right here, and I'm going to just serge my shoulders, and then I'm going to work on my neckband. Okay, so now that I have my shoulder seams serged, I'm going to start with my neckband. I like to do my neckband right at the beginning because if I'm going to ruin my project, I want to ruin it, you know, at the beginning. So this is a part that's important, is how to fold our neckband. Look how curly this is. This is why a thick neckband is always great with cheap fabric. We're going to flip it with wrong sides together. Okay, and then we're going to find the other end, and then we're going to put right sides together over. So we are kind of building a neckband sandwich. Okay, that's what we have. And then we're going to run it through our serger. Okay, are you ready for this? It feels like magic every time. And our neckband's ready to go. So now we're going to assemble our neckband. So we're going to bring these 2 shoulder seams together, and then I'm going to put on the back of the neckband. Do you need any help? Right here. Okay. I'm going to clip it. So let me just show you on this side that you can see. So when you bring these 2 together, you're going to feel that this is where the end is. And then you're going to do it right here as well. And then you're going to put that on. So it's not at the shoulder seams because the back does not go down as much as the front. Okay, let's serge this. Okay. All right. So we're going to stretch the neckband on and to start going. So I kind of like to have a point of reference. And because this is a thicker neckband, I'm just going to have to go off right here. Normally I line it up with this metal bent bar or right here. I think I'm just going to keep doing it off the bar. So I'm just kind of having a little bit wider than the bar. So if you have a serger, knowing where all these fun little, I just find it really handy even just using the bar right here. Because as you can tell, sometimes with this, some things are rolling under, or I just want to make sure that the outside of my band is going to be completely even. So I can gauge that by looking at the outside rather than the inside. But whatever works for you. Okay, so at this point, you want to make sure that you have, this is what it's going to look like. So this is our inside with our inside fabric, and then the outside has both of those. Outside fabric's looking nice. Okay. And we're just stretching. So do you see this like gap? You're just easing it on the band. How nice. That surge. Okay, let's take a look. Doesn't having the thicker neckband just look a little bit more like a chunky sweater? Even though this fabric is thinner, we're kind of doing these little tricks to make it look a little bit more expensive. So now at this point, we are just gonna, I'm gonna move this. We're gonna flip this whole thing inside out. And we're gonna sew up our side seams. So we can clip our side seams, or you can kind of just, I like to line them up right here. And let's go get some clips. So we're gonna first start at the end. That's a fat clip. And then we're gonna do underneath the underarm. And then relay it flat. And we're just gonna clip through it. Not too hard, right? And then once we get done with this, like, it's gonna feel like we're halfway done. Okay, so let's see where we're at. We have a dress. Look at how cute that is. And we're gonna start adding sleeves. My hair is almost dry. My son got done with his math homework, so his math schoolwork, so we're doing good. We're chugging along. Okay, so we're gonna take, remember these are our sleeve ruffle, and we're gonna fold it in half, and I pull iron. So now we're gonna go take it over to my machine, and we're gonna gather this. And we're gonna do both of these, and then we can attach it to the sleeves and attach our sleeves. So it's gonna be awesome. So what I meant is we're gonna attach the ruffle onto our sleeves and then attach our sleeves. Yeah, that's a lot of attaching sleeves, but we're gonna do it. So this is where I get a little controversial. I want to only elongate it by like 3.5 instead of a 2.5. So I'm gonna be sewing on my seam allowance, and then I'm going to do one stitch and then my back stitch. This is another questionable thing that I do. I want to have perfect gathers, and so I want them to be nice and tight. And I'm not going to increase my tension at all because I want to hand gather these. I just sewed in a bunch of pink fluff. Did you see that? Okay, so right here, we're going to just lift up our needle and our presser foot. And then here we have it. Now, let's remove the fluff. Oh, that doesn't want to move. And we're just going to take our bobbin thread right here at the bottom. And we're just going to start moving it along. I love this fabric. It has such a pretty sheen to it. Oh my goodness. That little fluffy bit, oh my word. Just gonna make sure that's down. I think it will come out eventually. It'll come out. I don't even know what I was sewing that got that little fluffy bit, but okay. So that's what we're looking for. So here we're adding it on, and as you can see, that I'm just trying to follow those stitch length, the other stitches, right? And this is how we get those beautiful gathers and not the tucks. I don't know why it gets so weird about having the tucked fabric, but it just drives me nuts. I just want to have the smooth gathers, and it's going to look great. Okay, here we go. So again, we have our outside fabric on. Now what I just realized, when I first decided to do this, I was not planning on having it folded over. I was planning on having it open. So what you could do is finish these two together and then fold them over, and then you won't have any lines right here. But honestly, I think it's gonna be, normally you would have those if you didn't have it folded over, but anyways, I think it's gonna be adorable. Look at that. So we're getting ready to attach this gather onto our sleeve. Now, make sure that you do a basting stitch. I feel like the basting stitch is very important here because you just don't want to make a mistake here. Now remember, you can gather however you would like to. If you want to not back stitch, if you want to use your tension, whatever gives you the best results, go for it. We just want to make sure, especially on this particular hack, that we're not adding a ton of thread. So, you know, you want to make sure you're basting this on with your sewing machine and not your serger. This is one thing that I'm like really adamant about, is you don't want to add so much thread that it starts getting wavy. So let's take a look at this. So I have, well, I'll just show you. Oh, this is gonna be cute. Okay, so this is what we have right here. It's sewed on, and then this is the outside of the fabric. Look how cute that is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew it together, and then we're gonna serge this inside, and then we're gonna top stitch it. So that way it looks like it's just a cute little shirt sticking out of our sweater dress. I'm getting so excited for this. This is gonna be adorable. So I made one of these last week on my Instagram, and I didn't do the ruffle on the sleeve because the fabric had just terrible recovery, but this one I'm getting excited for. So let's add our sleeves. So we're gonna turn our dress inside out. And we're gonna lay it front side forward. Okay, now we're gonna have the outside of our sleeve, and then we're gonna find that triangle that we added last time. And we're gonna make sure that that triangle lines up with the front, and then you're just gonna tuck this sleeve inside here. And you're going to make sure that the triangle's in the front, and you're gonna clip right here and then on the other side. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna just attach our sleeve right here, and then we're gonna attach it at the top. And then we're gonna just go serge this. So let's go take it to the serger. Okay, so here we are at the serger, and we're just gonna attach this sleeve on. You can see my stickers right here. So those stickers, this means that this is number 4 in the order, and it's my left needle. I put those stickers on when I got the serger and I had toddlers. So you can see the toddler stickers. And you know, because like I gotta remember the order of operation. But if you look in here, well, I guess it shows right here. And then it shows, I don't know if it shows the order, but anyways, it has the numbers right here on the order, but I was scared, okay? And I wanted to make sure that I could remember. And now those stickers have shown, those stickers, I keep them on there to remind me how far I've came. So this is a Brother 1034D. And I think my husband got it for Christmas for me. Like, oh, it had to have been like 6 years ago. This was back when they were like $120 $25, which was still a lot of money, and I felt so blessed to get it. So anyways, this is my sweet little brother that I just love. Okay, so here we are with our adorable dress. So let's lay that down. We are getting so close. And as you can tell, my hair dried fully. I was able to do it. But I noticed my shirt is still wrinkly. So we're just surviving today, right? It's Thursday. We only have a few more, less than a week till Christmas. We're just surviving. Okay, so next I'm going to attach my long ruffle that's going to go around the bottom of my dress. So we're going to add the ruffle, and then we're going to make the band, and we're going to attach all three of these together. So let's get started with that. Okay, now that you can see this, and I can see it, and I have both hands free, we're going to just try to get this thread out. And oh my word, it is, she's in there. So I must have a thread that I didn't see. It's jamming up everything. Okay. I see it. It's right here. There we go. That's probably why I couldn't see last time. Okay, I'm gonna take out my bobbin, and let's just, whoop. We're gonna take out the whole bobbin. Okay, and let's just see how it's moving. There we go. We don't hear any terrible grinding noise. So let's bring back up this needle. And right here. Okay. We want to make sure, I'm going to actually open this. This is the issue right here. So because when I was threading this, I didn't get it into right here. You still can't see it. So when I was threading, I didn't get it into this looper, right there. You can't see the thread, it comes right down here. So when that happens, it causes all sorts of problems where you think it's your bobbin and you're pulling out all this thread, and then somehow magically you rethread your machine and it works. So I always, when I have this happen twice, I know that I messed up right here, somewhere in the threading. So there you go. I serged both of these edges. And again, we're doing just this, we went right off. Okay, we're good, we got this. The big dogs have got me. Okay, so we're just gonna keep it with a straight stitch. We're gonna go all the way down. So now we're gonna move over to my brother machine, and we're gonna do this gather. Now that we're talking about machines, right? This brother machine, I first have a Janome 3, and that one is at my mother-in-law's house. And I went to go get that one repaired, and it was going to take, it wasn't even repaired, it was just serviced. And they took 3 months with that machine. And I was in the middle of making spring clothes for my family, and it just, I just needed another machine for those. So I got this one, and it was a really great deal. And I love it. It is the best buttonholer I have ever had. I actually prefer this one over any of my other machines. So do you see this little discoloration? This is vintage fabric, and sometimes you're just gonna have a little bit of that. It's on the inside and no one's gonna see. It's okay, right? We're using something that would normally never be used. So, and this fabric came from my husband's grandfather and grandma. And when grandpa passed away, I got what was in their sewing room. So this is a piece of that fabric, and I am so careful with it. I try to make sure that each project I do, it's going to be one that I love, and one that uses it the most careful. So anyways, this is still set up at 3.5. Now you can go ahead and, do the tension higher on this one. You can widen the stitch length. I'm still gonna just continue. You can do those 2 lines if you like to. Okay, here's the most important part. Don't backstitch, and then lift up your presser foot and keep those long ones. Long ones. Keep the long ones. Keep the long threads. Oh my. Okay, so here is my gather, all nice and pulled, and you can see it's the same width as my dress. So now I'm going to close up my band, and then we're going to attach this onto our gather and then attach it onto our dress. Okay, so this is where it's going to get exciting. So we have our ruffle attached. Now we want this to actually hang down so it looks like the ruffle's sticking out. So that means we're going to flip it so the ruffle's up, and then we're going to attach the side seams to the side of our, oh, this is also, okay, sorry. I put this clip here first so I could remember that this was the front. So we're still dealing with the front, and then now I'm going to line up the side of my dress with the side of my band, and I'm going to clip it there. And then I'm going to the other side, and then I'm going to slowly go around, and then we're going to be able to get this put together. So there's the seam right there. Wow, this fabric hides that seam so well. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to continue clipping, and then we will get this finished up. And by serger, I meant let's baste this on very carefully at the sewing machine. Whoops. Again, this is one of those where we just don't want to have a ton of thread going on because it's going to cause a ton of unwanted rippling in our garment. So, okay, here we go. Again, this is just a baste. Sorry, I have this camera in a place where I can't see what I'm see very well. And again, I'm just trying to follow that stitch, and all of this is going to actually be hidden. Okay, so this is where it's going to get exciting. So we have our ruffle attached. Now we want this to actually hang down so it looks like the ruffle's sticking out. So that means we're going to flip it so the ruffle's up, and then we're going to attach the side seams to the side of our, oh, this is also, okay, sorry. I put this clip here first so I could remember that this was the front. So we're still dealing with the front, and then now I'm going to line up the side of my dress with the side of my band, and I'm going to clip it there. And then I'm going to the other side, and then I'm going to slowly go around, and then we're going to be able to get this put together. So there's the seam right there. Wow, this fabric hides that seam so well. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to continue clipping, and then we will get this finished up. Okay, so now we're going to make sure that this is all lined up. I like to have the ruffle side up so I can make sure I'm not missing anything. So let's get all these threads pulled up so they get cut off as we're going through the serger. Right? Okay, so we're going to make sure we have all 3 layers when we do this. So we have our dress layer, and then we're going to have both of our band layers. That's a little weird right there. And we're just going to continue going on. We're going to go all the way around, and then we're going to serge the bottom and roll hem it. Okay, so we're at the final stretch and just roll hemming that bottom hem. So, so close. Okay, so we just roll hem this, and we're just lining it up. So here's my serge line, and then we're going to put the hem down, and then we're going to roll around. This is how I was thinking I was going to do around my sleeves. So I was like, it's going to have the serge lines and all that right there anyways. But I do love how those sleeves turned out. They are so cute. I think they're going to sit perfectly a little bit on your wrist. So I think it's going to be adorable, like this whole dress. I love that pink is like starting to make its way into Christmas. I went to this tree festival, and they had all these beautiful pink Christmas trees. Okay, we're going to continue here, and then try on this dress. Okay, so this is how my $4 dress turned out, and I love it. I hope you love yours. Thank you for watching.